Gunmen have killed the Labour Party senatorial candidate for Enugu East District. That's in Amechi Okunano, a community in Enugu South local government area of Enugu State, southeast Nigeria. The victim, Oyibo Chukwu, was killed on Wednesday evening alongside 5 supporters who were inside the vehicle. The killing comes barely 3 days to the senatorial election, which is scheduled to take place this Saturday, February the 25th. The chairman of the Labour Party in Enugu State, that's Kazmi Agbo, confirmed the incident. Now, we're currently being joined by Honorable Uju Kingsley Chim. I'm just confirming that we actually have our guests. Well, that gory story, let's move on. That gory story of the killing of Labour Party senatorial candidate in Enugu State has again raised the spectre of violence overshadowing the southeastern part of Nigeria with just hours to the commencement of the 2023 general election. But for a bit more on this, we're now being joined by the Deputy Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Public Procurement. That's Uju Kingsley Chim, who is also a member representing Ohaji Egbema Ohuta Federal Constituency in Imo State. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you very much. God bless you for bringing me to your studio today.
Well, thank you. Unfortunately,
my name is Honorable Uju Kingsley.
Yes, thank you.
Representing Ohaji Oguta Federal Constituency of Imo State.
Thank you, Honorable Kingsley. Let's begin with this unfortunate incident. Now, this murder did not just affect the senatorial candidates. Also, we understand that supporters or members were also in that vehicle. Seeing that it was not just one that targeted an assassination, more or less, allegedly that targeted just him. Are you concerned that this might actually deter voters from coming out this Saturday based on fears of this incident?
Thank you very much. Let me first of all sympathize with the family of the deceased Labour Party candidate. What happened in Enugu East is condemnable. It's something any Democrat will never wish his enemy to be part of. For those of us who are standing for election on Saturday, we are worried, and we employ the security agencies, more especially the Inspector General of Police, who has been doing very well to make sure that this election is free and fair. We employ the Director General, DSS, Buchi, who is actually working around the clock to see that we will have a hitch-free election. And the Chief of Army Staff, we employ them to assist us to protect the lives of the voters. Yeah, it happened in Enugu yesterday, but I can tell you that what's happening in Imo State might be worse than what's happened in Enugu yesterday. As I talked to you today, there are a series of intimidation going on in my state. As I talked to you yesterday, I was attacked. Over 100 policemen were led me on my way to the rally, and I didn't know they were policemen. They were dressed in mufti. They all dressed in mufti, came in with an ambulance, had an armored car, led me, stopped me on the road, and I didn't know. They just ambushed me. And when I asked to verify what is going on, they said I should come down there or they'll fire me. I said, fire me for what? At the end of the day, I discovered that they were policemen because they dressed on mufti, were dreaded, as if they are even the unknown government we are talking about. So, but when I tried to inquire, they said they are policemen, that I'm under arrest. I said, arrest for what? They said, order from government house. I said, order from government house to do what? To arrest a candidate who is standing the election in the next 2 days. So this is what is happening in the state. So we need to differentiate between what is happening, the criminal element, and what is happening in the political environment. And I can tell you, it is frightening. Even the same yesterday, why they arrested me, why they claimed they arrested me, where they had over 100 policemen, an armored personnel carrier, an ambulance, and over 100 policemen. Why they were doing that, where a rally was going on, some policemen again dressed on mufti wear masks, went to where I was supposed to go for the second rally, went there, chased everybody away. The policeman, the name of the police that led them is Inspector Killaberi.
Okay, Honorable Uju Kingsley, I understand there's a level of criminality that's taking place. We can't identify who the assailants are. I believe, I'm sure you've gone to the necessary authorities, but I'm curious to know, what precautions have you been taking? What are the precautions that aspirants in the entire Southeast zone have had to take so that they are able to go out to the field and canvass for votes?
You can see this letter. I addressed this on my own part. I addressed letter to the DGSSS last 2 weeks to inform them of what's happening in my state. This letter was addressed to DGSSS requesting that my life is under threat. I wrote this letter again to the Inspector General of Police. I wrote this one to Mr. President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I wrote this one I have another letter to the IG, Inspector General of Police. All these letters had been submitted that they should provide security for those of us who are running election in the Southeast. As I told you now, the whole of my local government have been chased away by official policemen who actually is working for candidate of APC in the upcoming election. So you can see what is happening in the Southeast. How can a cousin to my opponent lead policemen, over 50 policemen and court boys, chasing away my supporters, killing my PA, as I told you now, my PA has been arrested. My PA has been kidnapped for over 3 weeks.
Honorable Kingsley.
So what we're doing, my sister, what we're doing now is to appeal to security agencies to help us find a way to protect the voters who are coming out on Saturday to vote. At the same time, too, they should assist us to make sure that the lives of the candidates and the lives of the voters are being protected. That is what we are appealing to the DGSSS, we are appealing to the Inspector General of Police, we are appealing to the Chief of Army Staff. Let them be unbiased, help us protect our voters. Nigerians need to be safe.
Well said, Honorable. But just to make this very clear, you know, we're not here to make any allegations since this matter is still being investigated. So please let's stick with this situation and not drop any names since it's still being investigated. It's unfortunate, but please let's respect that. Now, my initial question to you was, are you concerned? I hear your appeal for the fact that, you know, security needs to be provided for those involved in politics as well as the electorate. But I'm just wondering if you think that this might contribute to voter apathy. That was what I was referring to initially when you were narrating your experience.
Obviously, my sister, obviously, if not properly checked, the attitude of the voters must there will be serious voter apathy in the upcoming election. Because if the lives of the voters are not protected, how can they come to the polling booth? How can they come to vote for their leaders? And that's why we're having serious concern is Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has done everything humanly possible to make sure that the election is hitch-free, the election is free and fair, and which is for the General Police believe in, which the DGSSS is working on. So we are, at the same time, too, appealing to those at the state levels. They should not be yielding to the stronger wills of the ruling parties. We should be talking about how to save the lives of our people. Whether you are in Party A, Party B, Party C, what matters most is that we are working for the development of this country. So I envisage a serious voters' apathy on Saturday because the level of criminality going on is actually beyond the voters. Mind you, they don't have guns. Mind you, they don't have arms. So how do they protect themselves? So this is just the worry of those of us running for the election. And we equally solicit the assistance of the Inspector General of Police, more especially that of the Southeast. You know, we have peculiarities in the Southeast. And the peculiarities, like what happened in Enugu yesterday, honestly, is happening in almost all parts of Southeast. So we should be protected, and we should be seen to be part of Nigeria. As of today, we are not part of Nigeria with what is happening in the Southeast.
Now, in 2015, the election was postponed due to concerns around insecurity. Do you feel that the Southeast zone is ready for a free and fair election on Saturday?
My sister, I bet you, if there's anybody that is yearning for this election, it's the people of the Southeast. I respect their courage. I respect their resilience. I can tell you, after my attack yesterday, I still went for a rally in about 4 places. And when I went there, I saw in each of the places, I saw over 2,000 to 3,000 persons, women, youth, and aged men waiting to see their candidates, to see their leaders. So the people of Southeast are actually very serious and very ready to participate in the election. The only problem they have is fear of security, fear of the unknown. And if you are facing the unknown security, you're a bit safe because you know when to run and when not to run. But if you are facing the known security, that is the state actors, that is where you begin to be frightened. I know it is a bit disappointing for us to comment in this direction, but honestly, I feel that if provided with adequate security in the Southeast, I am sure that before 7 p.m. on Saturday, most results will come out very comfortable in favor of the popular candidates. And it's only when you want to change the wheels of the people, that is where you begin to. And when you know you are not popular, if a candidate is popular, why would you go extra mile to undermine the life of the... This is not the life of a Southeasterner. This is not the life of an Igbo man. The life of an Igbo man is not spent on blood. And why would somebody's blood worth the aspiration and ambition of a single man? That is the question. So I strongly believe that if provided with adequate security, Southeast with 10.something million voters will churn the whole 10.something million to INEC. And that is why we are appealing that we are ready to cooperate with all the rules of the games. But what we are appealing to federal government of Nigeria is to provide us security. So I will go into the election and come out victorious. Those of us who are popular in our various constituencies, we actually have to tell you that we are doing very well to get the results.
Well, thank you, Honorable. Based on the assurances by the National Security Council, that the general election will hold and, security measures are in place, does that give you any confidence that in spite of what might have been your experience or what you might have read in the past days, that things will go well, seeing that the National Security Council is giving this assurance?
My sister, the President of Nigeria is one of the best persons I've seen in terms of policy decision. The Inspector General of Police is one man I've seen with courage, one man I've seen with absolute confidence in one Nigeria, including that of the DGSSS, including the Council of State meeting was done in Abuja. It was not done in Owerri. It was not done in Enugu. It was not done in Abia. And most often, if these things are done in Abuja without actually moving down to the states, I mean, with matching instructions and orders to the Commissioner of Police, you see the Commissioner of Police being helpless. How can the Commissioner of Police take instruction from his subordinates, from his subordinate because he wants to protect his job? This is just the peculiarities in the Southeast. So we are appealing. I agree with you in total that the Council of State meeting or the Council of Security Council meeting is supposed to provide adequate security provide confidence to the voters or electors. But the problem today is, after taking that decision in Abuja, how does that translate to reaction at the state level? How does that translate to reaction in my own constituency or in my own village? I've repeated it. The Security Council meeting is supposed to provide confidence, but how far has it provided? And I employ and urge Mr. President to continue what he's doing by making sure, too, that this decision taken by the Council of Security Council meeting will be conveyed to the Commissioner of Police in every state. Let them know that the President means business in making sure that the election is free and fair, and whoever wins should take the day. But whereby one man stays in the confines of his office and decide what happens everywhere in the state. Is that the best way to do? And I strongly want to appeal through this medium that the police army should provide security tag, if possible, have security identification for every security man participating in the election on Saturday. I bet you the news we are hearing is not palatable. We are hearing where some people are trying to infiltrate the ranks of the security agencies with illegal security men, illegal army, illegal, what do you call it, illegal police, illegal DSS, just to make sure they win elections. That is even the most frightening aspect. The security should know that their duty is to stay at the boundary of police centers, not to come into the police centers and start scaring people away. Imagine where a security man is committing people to juju, committing people to oath, so that they can vote for a candidate of his choice. Let him remove his uniform and come and join us in politics. Those of us who accommodate him. That is the major problem we're having today. So, Council of State meeting, I seriously sympathize with their plight. I appreciate their courage, but then I think they should do more by extending that directive to the state commands, and that will give us the confidence we're looking or we're praying for.
Now, speaking about some of the major challenges as we count down to the election, one of the bigger conversations that's been happening concerning security in the Southeast is the declaration by Simon Ekpa, the self-styled leader of IPOB, who, of course, has declared a stay-at-home order from the 23rd through to the 28th of February. So that'll impact the 25th, which is the election day. How is this being received, and how did you receive this, and what's your outlook? Is this something in the past these stay-at-home orders have been adhered to because people are scared? Do you foresee people adhering to this particular stay-at-home order?
My sister, do verify that the stay-at-home order. I want Nigerians to know what is happening in Southeast as well. Did you verify the status and the authenticity of whosoever that you say that declared a state of emergency? I told you I was in a rally yesterday, and I told you the turnout of the rally. I had like over 2,000 to 3,000 in each of the venues. The question we're asking today is, who are the persons declaring this state of emergency? Should we? I told you an incident yesterday where policemen were claiming to be unknown gunmen in one of the rally points. They even said to them, "We are unknown gunmen," that people should go. So let us differentiate between whatever is the agitation you're talking about and the official security agencies. IG, please hear this. Help us to separate between the official security agencies and that of whatever agitation you're talking about. My sister, greater percentage of what is happening in the Southeast are not done by unknown the agitators. I don't know whom they are, but I'm just telling you, greater percentage of it is done by desperation. Desperation to win an election. How can a policeman wear a mask? I asked you this question. Is it right for a policeman to wear a mask on election day, to go to a rally point and be dispersing people with guns and tear gas? Well, Nigerian police is not meant to wear a mask.
Well, Honorable Kingsley, just for balance, we don't necessarily know that those are actually policemen. That could just be someone or people posing as policemen. But away from that... No, I
said greater percentage, my sister. I didn't say that all out. I said separate. I was appealing to the Inspector General of Police to separate from the agitators we are talking about, you made mention of, and that of these men who wear masks and claim to be
understood.
Sometimes when they go in a hidden place, they say they are non-government. When they come out openly and their identities are discovered, they say they're policemen. You can see the problem.
Yes,
how can my sister, the truth about it in Southeast, yes, we have criminal elements. We as well to have people who are claiming or who are actually pretending to be or hiding under the cover of the unknown government to perpetrate their acts. This is the major problem we are having today in the Southeast.
Well,
so having said this, I think, yeah.
Because
I can hear you, my sister.
Okay, just
I'm
confirming.
online.
Thank you. I definitely hear your grievances, and thank you for sharing them with us. But, I'm also wondering if besides security, you might also have some concerns ahead of Saturday. We know that during the course of that, the Security Council meeting, INEC also gave stern warnings regarding vote buying and vote selling. saying that those that might be found culpable will be prosecuted accordingly. That's just on the side. Are there other concerns that you have ahead of the polls on Saturday?
Yes, thank you very much, my sister. When we say vote buy, where is the money to buy the vote? I hardly or barely can see 5,000 naira notes of currency. So I think the president has done very well to try to minimize vote buying. I'm very impressed that I don't think vote buying is a major problem this time around in the upcoming election. The only major areas we are entertaining fears is the areas of INEC. I don't know what their programs or what they've actually planned to do, but I understand the INEC chairman is working around the clock to make sure the election is free and fair. When we met him last time, I'm in the committee in the National Assembly, when we met with the national chairman of INEC, the man assured us that he's going to make sure, and all through the timetable they've actually released, they've kept religiously to the timetable. If you watch the way all the programs the man said in the last 1 year, they have been implementing it day after day. Up to today, this afternoon, I just heard, yesterday they said they are distributing sensitive materials. They are giving Nigerians information on what they are doing at every point in time. The only area we have is this security. If security, INEC don't have any armed security man. What they have is security men with baton or without baton. So how would they confront a bigger force? Materials taken away from CBN and maybe on their way to local government, and there is any external aggression or any external influence or external attack. How will INEC man defend it? So everything still boils down on security. But I think that's the major area. INEC and security is our major areas of interest and fears. And I believe that if INEC and security agencies work in synergy, this election will go in the history of Nigeria as one of the best elections to be conducted by any government. Because the president has actually said it repeatedly that he wants to leave an election that will live the test of time. He wants to produce leaders that were actually elected by their people. He wants to live stronger as the president of Nigeria. So INEC need to do more. When we pass the electoral act, our exact intention is to allow the beavers to drive the process of having a free and fair election. And they tested it in Osun State, Anambra, and it should be Ekiti. And we are sure that if they should apply the principles upon which they conducted these elections in these states, Nigeria is in to be recorded as one democracy that has sustained or that is being sustained from 1999 to date. So that is why our appeal will continue to appeal to INEC to be unbiased, to make sure too that the staffs, the adult staffs, the SPOs, and all other ones that are going to the field are people with very credible qualities. I beg to agree that a man taken from sideways mechanic can, sorry, I'm not condemning mechanics, can do the job of a professor. That is not possible. So the man maintained, and the rule says that SPOs will be from the rank of, civil servant from the rank of level 9. But again, go and check what is happening. The list, people who went for interviews in various states have been jettisoned for people who do not possess the qualities, who do not have the criteria, just because they want to please one politician. Just because, how can you? These are people sabotaging the strength and the efforts put in by the INEC chairman. So it is condemnable when the people at the top are doing the best to give us the best we want as Nigerians. People somewhere are trying to circumvent this best. So INEC should make sure too that they keep to the rules. They keep to the tenets of what they say they want to do. If you are not in level 9, if you are not a civil servant, and the criteria say you must be in level 9, and let them not allow you. And let the state recs be requested to submit the credentials of those they've employed.
Okay.
I can tell you, okay, for instance, in Imo,
all right,
the people that applied for
Kingsley,
SPOs are about 1,000.
I'm sorry, we just have a couple of minutes left. Now, as we round up, I understand the picture that you've painted, especially with regards to security. And, you know, over the years, I know the Southeast Governors Forum seems to have been unable to reach a unified stance with regards to combating insecurity in your region. And you're painting other scenarios as well where there's disunity. What will it take for national interest to precede politics in the Southeast geopolitical zone?
If you watch all over the country, one group of people that are Republican in nature are the Igbos. Go to Sokoto, the most remote part of Sokoto, you see an Igbo man. Go to Kaduna, go to any part, you see an Igbo man doing his business, living peaceful with his people. That is to say that an Igbo man is desirous to have a very conducive environment wherever he is. If you go to Abuja too, you see that most of the high-rising buildings, most of the good environments we have in Abuja are owned by Igbos. So Igbos are not as people describe them out there. I strongly believe again that what is happening is the federal government had to do more in coming to the edge of the Igbos. What do I mean by this? We had to really take two ways approach to whatever that is happening in the Southeast. One approach is what they are doing currently. The second approach is finding a carrot approach. What is a carrot approach? Most of these issues we're talking about are idle too. The best thing we can do too is setting up a special scheme in the Southeast.
Honorable Kingsley.
The special scheme
Honorable Kingsley, Chim, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Public Procurement. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. Apologies for all that you've experienced, but we do hope things go well come February the 25th. Thank you for joining us.